In the late 90s, Peter Levine wrote this beautiful book about trauma calling Waking the Tiger, Healing Trauma. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it because it might be a good fit for you. It's reader friendly. It speaks about trauma from a biological perspective, often drawing comparisons with other creatures in the animal kingdom and what all organisms do when they sense threat. The idea that there's a fight, flight, or freeze response. And when an organism is able to fight or flee, they do what Levine calls completing the arousal cycle, where there's a sense of threat, the body reacts, the body can do something, and then the body can regulate afterwards. It's the freeze response that's typically most associated with trauma. When we're immobilized and we can't protect ourselves and we can't run away, that arousal cycle doesn't get to finish. And he has this great metaphor of it being like the accelerator and the brake are on at the same time, and the body can't move anywhere. So you can imagine that when that happens, when someone is immobilized, that energy that would usually be used to flee or to fight gets stored in the nervous system. And then it gets triggered. And so Levine talks about how to manage with trauma. And he calls it a felt sense. I think language that's maybe more current could be mindfulness or body awareness. The idea of being able to sit with the physiological sensations and the emotions that come up and to create some distress tolerance, as opposed to what we often do, which would be avoidant behavior or unhealthy distractions like substance use. Levine talks about somatic experiencing, which in a nutshell is really about staying in the body and recognizing how the nervous system is reacting to whatever the individual is experiencing. If you're thinking that you may have trauma and you're not sure, this book is great for giving examples, giving exercises to see, is this something that you're experiencing? And there's also symptoms of trauma that they name and explain. Things like nightmares, panic attacks, avoidant behaviors, or chronic helplessness. And the list is quite extensive. I like this book because, again, reader friendly. It explains the biological aspect of trauma in a way that I think we can all understand and really grasp. And in a way, it works as a bit of a workbook with the exercises. There's maybe 7 or 8 exercises throughout the whole book, so I think they're helpful. And the examples that Levine provides are about past clients that he's had and their story of trauma and their story of recovery. It's a good one.